Hello there, guys. My name is Michael, and let's continue our playthrough of Dark Souls 2 with the Undead Crypt. Apparently, King Vendrick, when he was going more and more insane... Why are there all these bloodstains here? Did they try to fight Aldia? Well, anyway. When he was going more and more insane, seemed to have fled through out of the castle, through the King's Passage, through the Shrine of Amana, and to the Undead Crypt, and he is buried here. And we actually find the zombified king later on in the level. This guy carrying a torch is actually a buddy. He will not hurt you. I don't think so. He's never hurt me. And you can kill him if you want, but, you don't need to. Not really a point. That's a little oil jar that you can light up to add a little light to this area. That was an odd noise. Huh. I don't know why, but there's something strange going on. Well, anyway. That one over there is a bad one. And these are some of the enemies of this area, just your basic hollows. Nothing much to worry about. In here, though, are some people to worry about. And they are, I don't remember the name of these guys, they're sort of witches, and their main thing is that they have hexes, miracles, sorceries, and pyromancies. So they are casters of every kind. And they can cast toxic mist and poison you very quickly. Fortunately, we just ran past them. So, doesn't really matter that much. We couldn't really hear this guy because those guys were attacking us, but that is Agdane, and he is tremendously cool. Large soul of an aimless soldier, very nice. What are these guys doing here? The grave wardens, is that what they are? The guys in Earthen Peak? Or, what the heck are they even doing here? Their armor looks vaguely like Egyptian in a way. Like this would be the armor that like a mummy or a pharaoh would wear, but I don't think it looks like that if we get it in the other place. What the heck are they even doing? Yeah, it looks more like that. Yeah, that's the armor that we were wearing for a while. But anyway.
I am Agdane, guardian of the crypt. Countless dead rest here in peace, cradled by the comfort of dark. Light only agitates. We have no need for it here. I am a finito. We weave death and watch over the dead. This task was granted to me by the one who gave us the first death. Countless souls rest here, some of them from ages long ago. Some were rich, others poor, some wise, some dull, but now they're all just dead. Did you come for him? The one called Vendrick. You will find him deeper inside. Many castle servants and the like have come to fetch their lord. But they rest here now, put to death by the king's own guards. Perhaps he's not in the mood for company. In the past, humans were one with the dark. The former king of light, he feared humans. Feared that they would usher in an age of dark. How queer you humans. How you go on, never separating truth from fiction. This place is welcome to all, provided due reverence is shown. Death is equitable, accepting. We will all one day be welcomed by her embrace. Tell me what you desire. Show me reverence, and I will lend you my hand.
I love the have mercy gesture. And so that's Agdane. He's a really cool guy. I love characters like this that are sort of like Kai, the Brute and G from Lex that are sort of like grim and death-obsessed. I really enjoy them. You can buy a set of armor here called the Insolent set, and it looks really cool. I'm actually going to buy some of it because I plan maybe on wearing it later, and it looks sort of like a Templar outfit. Like that's something somebody would wear in the Crusades. You can also get their crummy shield, and it does have spell parry, but other than that, it's pretty shitty. Ring of Thorns +1, not too useful. Unlimited amount of dark arrows or bolts. There's no real superiority to these to lightning or fire. In fact, in most cases, there's not really any point to having one over the other, magic, lightning, fire, or dark. Either of them are equally good. Also, 13 human effigies, so that's pretty awesome. And also he sells a very interesting spell here. He does sell Soul Spear, which is very useful for the casters out there, but he also sells Warmth. Warmth is a healing pyromancy that allows you to heal people with your pyromancy glove, and I think this is a great addition to the game. And it's fantastic that you can add... I like variety with the spells. You know, with pyromancy, it's all about damage, but I like that they added this one where you can heal people with it, but I think you should have been able to get it early on in the game. I don't like that it's here. This guy will actually help us with the boss fight of this area. Whoops. Oopsie-daisy. And he will give us his armor set if we defeat Vendrick. Now, you'll notice he mentioned something about light before. Well, if you come in here wielding any kind of light, a torch specifically, and I think cast light, he and all of these guys will instantly attack you, because light is considered horrendously evil to them for some reason. Again, the words dark and light are related to death and life, and they have meanings more than just, illumination. They're a bit bigger than that, concepts. If we go immediately right, we're going to come across 2 Cyan Knights, and there are a lot more of them in this level, so get used to them. And one is a sword and one is a halberd one. This is a great place, by the way, to farm out the halberd, because there's a very convenient bonfire that we're going to come into contact with. Although I've sometimes gotten tremendously unlucky and been unable to farm the halberd, even after fighting these guys, to completion, to when they died. If you come right over here, usually there's a message pointing this out, you can drop down here, and we have these guys who are guarding a soul of a great hero, so that's worth 20,000 souls. Obviously, it's worth it to come down here. And if we head up here, there's a ladder leading to a Crushed Eye Orb. The Crushed Eye Orb will allow us to fight Lycia of Lindelt, if you remember back in that level where the, what were they, the Nameless Usurper. She's going to attack us again, the Nameless Usurper, but she's just Lycia of Lindelt. There's nothing really to worry about with her. And you can go through that fog door there, but we are not. I usually just like to open it up, because I once was invaded here, and if I had opened the fog door I would have been saved, but I hadn't. I just went the other way and did this. I did not notice this for multiple playthroughs through this area, but if you head over here and drop down, I thought that was just dropping down to death, but it is not. And you light a flame butterfly, or come back here after lighting it at the bonfire. You can go here. This looks sort of like a Madonna statue or something like that. You can set the light, and beauty will come around. I know people like to take a dump on Dark Souls 2, but this is gorgeous. This was amazing. Look at that. These gigantic statues. I mean, these are huge. And the lights coming on. It's a pity it's an area you don't need to go to, and I completely missed and wouldn't have noticed about, but then again, what are you going to do? I might have completely not noticed the Great Hollow in Dark Souls 1 if I hadn't had the internet to look it up. We got a soul vessel there. It's pretty useful. It's actually a lot of useful stuff here in the crypt, which is very nice for a variety of classes, actually. Is it possible that every class might have something useful? Every build. Now, in this next area, we have a sea full of, you'll take a look here, rocks. Well, these are really supposed to be tombstones, these rocks. And zombies will periodically spawn next to them, and I think an infinite number will spawn. But these things are more what we want to look out for. See that there? On the other side there's a statue behind it. It's sort of an obelisk or a giant tombstone. And from them will spawn some really annoying enemies. The Ladia Pyromancers, I believe they are called. Oop, 4 hits it took. And these guys are very tough because not only do they have a good physical attack, they actually have a significantly damaging set of sorceries and pyromancies. These guys can be a nuisance, but they're not a danger. It's only going to distract you while you're fighting the pyromancers. And now that we have destroyed this obelisk here, as long as we don't die, we're going to be okay, and we can go rest at a bonfire and completely re-heal, and come right back over to here, and find that this thing, and the place that those Lady of Pyromancers have spawned from here, are gone. However, I believe if you do die and you come back here, this will respawn and rebuild itself. Well, I'm not sure if they changed that or not. There are 3 of them in this room, and 2 in the next room, I believe. It takes multiple hits to destroy one of the tombs, although one of the pyromancers will not spawn unless you get very close to it, like here. Usually if you have a bigger, heavier weapon, like for instance a, oh god, pyromancy, oh my god, yeah, they're no joke, and they got a lot of spells. And I think it might be just a continual spawning of those guys from this place until they kill you, so you have to be very, very careful. We're not going to go through that door because we should go over here. And hopefully we'll be able to get all 3 of them in one go. Fortunately, we can 2-shot these guys. Did we get a good item? Yes, we did. The Lady of White Robe is actually a pretty good armor for a mage class build. In fact, these guys drop a lot of cool stuff for mages. Ooh, a Titanite Chunk and Petrified Dragon Boners. Very nice. And the things that they drop include their sword, which is called Blue Flame, which is a very unique weapon because not only is it a cool melee weapon for a mage, the strong attack of it will actually cast spells. It'll cast sorcery, so you can cast spells with it and attack with it, allowing for a lot of versatility. Now, the damage that you'll get off of it is actually fairly low. You're not going to get a heck of a lot of damage on it. The scaling is low compared to a staff that you could get, but it's still not horrible. And it's really more for the quick versatility of using it. Twinkling Titanite, very nice. Down here is a great item. It's the... but we're going to have to try to destroy this first. The Bracing Knuckle Ring +2. And what that does, of course, is slow equipment degradation. They actually gave you the +2 version of this here in regular game. Usually you only get the +2 version of something in New Game Plus. But they knew that how broken and stupid the weapon degradation system was in this game, and they gave it to you here. Now let's hope we live, because remember, you can be stun-locked with a dagger in Dark Souls 2, as stupid as that is. Why does she only attack with a dagger, by the way? You know, why doesn't she attack with her miracles? Is she, like, trying to not give herself away? I mean, you know, she didn't wear different clothing. It's obviously just her. So, I don't... Again, I got nothing about what she's supposed to be doing here, why she's a usurper, why she can't try to become king herself. I mean, why not, right? Anybody could be the chosen undead in Dark Souls 1. Why couldn't anybody be king? Well, anyway. If we go around the wall here, you will notice an enemy of this game. Let's find him. And they are ghosts, and they are an environmental hazard because they cannot move from here, and they're kind of a joke. There's a hidden door over here. Usually a message will be saying that. I don't know why there is not one here. These guys are nothing like the ghosts of Dark Souls 1, who actually were part of what I thought was the most difficult area of all of Dark Souls 1 for me, the New Londo Ruins. And we just got a Velen. People who played Dark Souls 1 and knew what it took to get a villain in that game may be crying at how easy it is to get in this game. But, you know, well, what are you going to do? And you'll take a look at it here. It is one of those 3-shot crossbows, very ornate, very fancy, and it will shoot 3 bolts at a time. And that's pretty damn cool. So everybody gets good stuff down here in the Undead Crypt. Let's head down here. I'm going to put on my, here it is, Covetous Gold Serpent Ring, because I will want to try to farm the armor of these guys. There's 3 of those ghosts in this room. There's the other one. There he is. If you don't finish these guys off, they can annoy you with the battle. Have you seen the other enemies yet? Yeah, it's those guys. These shield guys, these are enemies. Now what these guys are doing down here is actually a bit dark. Remember all the way back in the Undead Purgatory, what was going on there in the Undead Copse was that people were being hunted. The undead were not just being locked away, they were actively being attacked by everybody else. They were being led to the copse to be hunted like deer by people. So, and they were also being taken up to the Undead Purgatory to be tortured, ground down, beaten, and attacked and killed again and again and again for amusement, or to punish them for allegedly being impure or something like that. I was trying to get the armor set of these guys, but I did get the helmet. It does look pretty good, but I think it's too heavy. Oh, well, wait a minute. No, it is not. I will keep this on then. And let's take a look at it. Helmet worn by once proud knights, relics of a party who long ago attempted to conquer the Undead Crypt. For this act of conceit, they will never rest in peace, and instead serve as crypt guardians. Now, they were really weird enemies in that they were wielding 2 tower shields, which is really bizarre as a form of weaponry. I think they were called Orma's Shield and Reeve's Shield, and you can get them as a drop from them, by the way. And these guys, these imperious knights, their name says it all. These guys went down into the crypt to try to conquer it, and they began to brutalize the undead and literally use the shields to grind them into paste, it says, I think on the shield, up and down these corridors, and just reduce them into slime and jelly. And that just seems so grim and so dark that they were, doing that in the Undead Crypt here. And Drang Lake was not a fun place for the undead. Now, we're going to drop down into this hole here directly in front of us and face the skeleton and move left and go towards the door there, as we're going to be dropping down into a room full of Lady Pyromancers, and that is pretty darn scary. Left. We'll be going back into that area after we defeat Velstad, the Royal Aegis. And here's a shortcut, one of the rare actual shortcuts in the game. And we're just going to go rest at the bonfire, then head back around there. That's nice. The next room is a long corridor filled with Cyan Knights. And it's not exactly going to win any awards for level design, because like I said, it's just a big hallway. A big hallway filled with armored dudes. Not much thought you had to put in there. And I believe there's something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Cyan Knights in a row there. And my god, is that irritating. Although, I do have to mention that this next room is really fun if you're co-oping in here and you're invaded in the middle of it, for a reason I will show you in a moment. When you're going in here, bring out your bow. There's some stones in here, Dark Knight Stone. Immediately go here and you'll see a stair heading down. Go to your right and drop down. Over here, underneath it, you will see a hollow next to a bell. Make sure to kill him before he rings that bell, and do not go near it yourself or attack near it. Only use ranged attacks, because if he rings that bell, then 4 Lady Pyromancers will spawn in this room, and make an already challenging Fustercluck of an area even more challenging. There are 4 guys in here, I believe, who have halberds, and 3 that have sword and shield Cyan Knights. So, yeah, in fact, I'm actually going to put on my... still maybe want to get their armor. I remember, as I said, I tried to go in here many times and farm their stuff and get this darn halberd, because it's one of the best dex weapons in the game, to be honest. So I was like, and it took me forever to get it. And I don't think I even got it down here. I had to get it up in Castle Dreg Lake. Of course I didn't get it there. This next one will spawn just one sword and shield guy. I don't know why they made this guy alone. He seems kind of unnecessary. I don't know why there's just not 3 sets of 2. There's just one little poor extra guy here. I feel kind of bad for him. The armor set of the Imperious Knights that you can get in the other area is actually really cool. It's big and it's heavy and it's just really awesome looking. And I believe at maximum health, he was kind of moving weirdly there, wasn't he? This cyanide guy. And I believe at maximum... ooh, I got the armor. Awesome. Let me take a look at it. Still love my chainmail, but I'm going to try that armor. Where are you? What happens when I keep all this crap out? Oh, here's the insolent armor, at least. That looks pretty darn cool. You look like you're going on crusade. There's Cyan's armor. That looks pretty awesome. I like that. But we're going back to the good old-fashioned Hype Knight chainmail. Now there's 2 more sword guys over here. And then the boss door. Now, if you were in here, and I remember on I think 3 separate occasions I was in this area, and I was co-oping with someone, because this is a great area to co-op with if you put your sign up in that door. Everyone wants help going through this area, so you're likely going to get a summon, which is really nice if you're looking for an area to get summoned. And I said on 3 separate occasions, I've been going through here, helping somebody do some co-op, and while I was doing this, we were way down there at that other end, finishing off the last few guys, and we were invaded, and the invader was, he came around down there at the other end where we were, and it was a desperate chase as he immediately ran as fast as he could down here to try to ring the bell. And we all knew exactly where he was going, and we were all like, we have to get down there right now to stop him ringing that bell. We know what you're trying to do, man. And sometimes we made it, sometimes we didn't. It was actually a lot of fun. So an area which could actually be a bit of a tedious one can be made fun if you're co-oping, but you can say that about almost anything. A party that's really dull and unpleasant can be made enjoyable if you have friends there that you really like. So why isn't that halberd a better drop? And why do they have to drop 4 other pieces of armor? So it makes it even harder to get. And why also green blossoms? It's like they randomly give that to other people in order to, just kind of annoy you. Oh, we got it. There is nothing worse, nothing more grating, nothing more rage-inducing in a Souls game than spending so much effing time, literally hours of my effing life, trying to get this effing weapon, and then you know what happens? I just randomly run across it somewhere else. That pisses me the fuck off. But yeah, this is an awesome weapon. It's great. It feels more like a spear, in a way, than a halberd, but it's excellent. It gets up to an A with dex scaling. But let's get Agdane and go fight Velstad. He's not terribly difficult. Agdane there is actually using the Abyss Sword, the thing that you get for fighting the Rotten in New Game Plus, and you get a special soul you can trade for that with, I believe, Strayed, I think? It's a great sword that uses, that scales very highly with Dark, so if you're a Hexer, you can get a straight sword. This guy's design is based on a character called Garl Vinland in Demon Souls. However, he is no Garl Vinland, and his story is not nearly the same. His armor is actually really cool, though, aside from that stupid headpiece of his. They were both similarly accoutred, though, with that giant club thing. This guy has some dark magic powers. He is not too difficult to learn how to roll around. No, again, it's just practice. But he's not someone that frightens me as a boss. Unlike Alana, the Baneful Queen. Agdane does have them dark spells, of course. He usually does not survive to the end of the fight, although he was not at all useless like the other ones. He provides a very good distraction. He does this at the middle of the fight. He starts to get his dark mojo going, but usually it's not that important, and you can hammer away at him here. He does very suddenly get up, though, so be wary of that. Yeah, Agdane's going down very soon. I think he's fairly simple to learn how to dodge. You can, it's classic Souls dodging gameplay. Now, his weapon there that you can get is called the Sacred Chime Hammer, and I'm not really that familiar with it. I know it scales with dark, so that's really cool, because dark is cool. Ooh, I almost died there. Getting distracted talking about as if I'd already won. But, there we go, and I did win. His armor is actually really cool looking, sort of golden, sort of a dull gold with a bit of black, like the dark. And we got the Soul of Velstead. That Sacred Chime Hammer maybe has a special dark attack with a strong attack, so that's another more like a Hexer choice build. I'm looking behind here because I'm trying to see something. And we can see here, I didn't see it, but let's take a look here. This is the king. This is actually a great moment because, we've been told we should be the king, we should inherit the kingdom. We learned so much about this land, how it was built, how it was created. And look at him. This is the great man, the great king himself, King Vendrick. Nothing but a filthy, naked hollow. A zombie. He came in here, went crazy, took his pants off, and just wanders around. He's just completely out of his mind. This is a powerful moment. It's too bad they came so late in the day. And this is his armor here, that we can actually get much later. And his shield. We now have the King's Ring. If you remember way back in the day, when we went to a couple of doors, one in the Forest of Fallen Giants, another one in the early part of Dragonlight Castle, where it says, "Produce the symbol of the king." Well, this is it. This is the symbol of the king.
This ring is the symbol of the king. Use it to gain passage through the king's gate and venture to the far east. Bearer of the curse, if you are to be the next monarch, then one day you will walk those grounds without really knowing why.
And she won't talk to us anymore. I'm not really sure what she said to the far east, because I don't know if it's exactly to the east. Anyway, we can come back and kill Vendrick, but his health now is inversely proportional to how many souls of a giant we possess in our inventory. We can get a maximum of 5 per playthrough. That's without using bonfire ascetics. We can get 5, I believe. Oh, can we destroy this? I guess not. Alright. Now, every bonfire, every soul of a giant you have in your inventory takes away some of his defense modifier. Like if we tried to attack him now, which we aren't, we would do so little damage to him that it would be almost irrelevant. And he's actually a fairly easy boss fight when you come back later with the souls of a giant, which we get later on in the game. But at this point, it's not quite there. We can't really do the damage. I think you can beat him even with no souls of a giant. It's just it would take so much time to do that. Now let's continue on. We're just wrapping up the area with some items that we have here. There's a pretty cool staff you can get in this area, and also a great lightning spear. So that's going to be very useful for the Faith characters. But let's kill these guys here and talk to Agdane once again. I don't think it'd be... No, I'm not going to bother killing him. Who cares? I don't think they can follow you through here anyway. He says his little light speech. Well, I thought he said it every time. Oh, darn it. I guess we have to rest at the darn bonfire before he'll come back again. Wonderful. Gonna run back here. He'll actually give you his armor, Agdane's kilt, and he also has a sort of little skirt with it. And this skirt sort of looks to me fairly, I don't know the name of the clothing, maybe toga-like or something like that. It reminds me of something that you would see worn in ancient Greece, sort of like something that a hoplite might wear. It looks a lot like the skirt that you'd see worn at the end of Jason and the Argonauts, and I really like that. It also has sandals with it, too. Well, let's go chat with him. That's why he didn't give a spiel. I thought he said that every time you entered. I like the idea of the dark being egalitarian, you know, it's sort of, it welcomes everyone, rich and poor, great and small. And this guy is definitely of another race. He's blue-skinned, he's somehow related to the Milfinito and to Nito, the god of death, of course. But why these guys, are these the little ones that they say, who's saying for...
What do you... You have met the king. Life is never easy, never fair. Even more so on this path you've chosen. May you find your peace one day. Take these with you. You may need them as proof of your visit here.
That really doesn't go anywhere, that you may need them as proof of your visit here. I don't know what he could be talking about with that. And I think this looks really cool in some builds I've done where I've tried to be a hoplite or some kind of Greek or Roman warrior. And the sandals are very nice too. But anyway, let's go and try to get those spells. Now usually, if I'm not one of those, spellcasting characters like I am, I wouldn't bother with this. But I do want to show it because it is in here, and it is very useful for those kinds of characters. Nice try, Scrubs. I don't know if those guys will follow me down here. I think no, but what we have here is a type of staff called Olenford's staff, which is actually not a terribly good one. It's not as good as the Staff of Amana, or the Witch Tree Branch, or the Staff of Wisdom, but it is very cool looking because it's bright blue. And we also have a room full of those hideous, despicable statue things that will spawn the Lady of Pyromancers, and we have to destroy about 4 or 5 of them in order for the room to be finally clear. And we just have to, I'll show you how the best way to do it, just go in there, destroy one, wait for the others to spawn, and then just get out, and homeward bound back to the bonfire and start again. Otherwise, we'll be fighting multiple ones at once, because in this room, there is one of those obnoxious bells. And you know what those bells are going to do? They are going to make those hideous things all spawn at once. Now, luckily, I have a great weapon, so I decided to do 2 at a time, because I wanted to speed things up. But normally, I just destroy one, then go back, and be very patient. There's actually one down a long corridor that's hard to get, and I think there's that one, and there may be another one, a second one. Not sure about that. I also picked up an item just now called the Mace of the Insolent, and it is not an especially good mace, and we'll show it to you in just a moment. It is this thing. I think you need some faith to use it. And it is actually part mace, part sacred chime. So the strong attack you will cast miracles with, just like the the blue flame. You can get 2 of those weapons right next to one another in the same area. Let us head down here. I hate that damn bell, by the way. And I hate those zombies for calling their little ghost buddies with their damn frickin' bell. Oh, there might be 3 more of these statue things, actually. Is there one over here? Yes, there is. I think I'm going to actually go back. I know this is not exactly the most brave thing to do, but I don't want to go into that long corridor where the last one is and fight that one there, because that is pretty tricky. Especially if he's already been spawned. That is not so fun. Olin Ford's staff, the thing that you get here, is actually not a terrible staff. It's just not worth it next to the other ones. And it looks really cool. It also has, I think, if I remember right, a fairly low cast speed. Considerably slower than even the Witch Tree branch, which is kind of sad, because you can get that so much earlier in the game. And hope there's just one more of those things. The zombies constantly respawn, so there's not a whole lot you can do about them hitting that bell. Questionable of me to do that, because I was out of... If I can hit him one more time, I can do this. If not... Oh my god. Oh, thank the Lord. I think I might put a few points into endurance just now. And let's show where you can get that cool stuff. The bell will just keep ringing, it doesn't matter. No one can be summoned by it now. And this is a really weird thing that you have to do over here. Go over here, there's a hidden door, and inside the hidden door, there's a Pharaoh's Lockstone. And then the Pharaoh's Lockstone will highlight another hidden door, and then we can get the stuff. Is that enough fucking rigmarole for you? Just have a hidden goddamn door. Why do we have to go through this crap with the Pharaoh's Lockstones? It's pointlessly walling something off that we shouldn't have to do. And why isn't it just one Pharaoh's Lockstone thing? Why do we have to go through the hidden door, then a Pharaoh's Lockstone? Why don't you have us jump in the air and do a trapeze act while you do it, too? Jesus. Alrighty, I think that's all the items in here. Yes, it is. So, that was the Undead Crypt. I really like this area. I think it looks very cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. I may try to farm out that armor for the Imperious Knights, but I'm not too sure about that. It does look very cool. And, yeah, this area had a lot of potential. There's some good lore stuff in it that really, really works. Unfortunately, it's pretty small, and it's kind of too little too late. I wish they had done everything a lot sooner in this section. But you can get a lot of cool stuff. I forgot to mention, by the way, that entrance area to the Undead Crypt is much more serious in New Game Plus, because I think they did what they intended to do from the start, which was to have multiple of those Imperious Knights standing there at the front of the door, blocking your way, so you can't just run through past those hexer ladies, those witches, whatever they are. But anyway, I'm not sure where I'm going to be going next. There's so many places to go. Maybe DLC, maybe not. But until then, I will see you next time.